Hi, good day. I am Patrick Joseph Bonavie, the Dean of the College of Physical Therapy here in Far Eastern University, Dr. Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation, Manila, Philippines.
Okay, so nice to meet you, Sir Patrick. The first question would be, how are the Korean physical therapists who are currently participating in the internship through Sumug Indio adapting?
Right, so they are adapting very well with the culture and also with the practice. They are actually very excited whenever they are faced with new practices because here at FEU-NRMF, we pride ourselves with specialized care on different fields of physiotherapy that the participants of the Korean internship is very excited, and they have been adapting well.
Okay, that's nice to hear. Okay, second question, from an objective perspective, how would you evaluate the overall skill level of the physical therapists, the Korean physical therapists?
They are excellent, although there are obvious differences between the Korean practice and the Philippine practice, but they are able to learn very fast, most especially on our sports rehabilitation area, in which we, FEU-NRMF, pride ourselves from because of the number of strength and conditioning exercises, manual therapy that is taught there. They really show excellent skills and they really learn fast.
Are the English language skills of Korean physical therapists being adequately demonstrated in the clinical setting? If there are aspects of communication that need to be improved, what would they be?
At first, there was a big challenge on the communication, especially in English. But then again, this is different from one individual to the other. Okay, and I could not generalize it because there are certain Korean students that really are adept at the English language already, even at the first time that they're here. And there are those who struggle at first, but really they already found their footing and their stability in the English language. What they could really improve more is on the speaking English and the communication towards actually patients.
In which areas are the Korean PT particularly excelling at the moment?
They're really excelling at the clinical practice. What they see, all right, they immediately learn and they immediately do. They are very obedient, all right, and most of them have high initiative, not just in learning, but in applying the things that they have learned.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice to hear. Okay, so now the questions will be focusing more on cultural differences and approaches. So, are there any notable differences in clinical practice approaches between Korean and Filipino students?
Here in the Philippines, I think we are more direct in treating our patients. We enjoy a little bit, maybe more freedom, akin to the licensed physical therapists already, that they can leave patients with us. I think that's really one difference from the current internship, and because we have longer hours, right? So our students, especially after the midterm of our internship, are more confident now in handling patients on their own. And because we, on some of the clinics that have a more direct approach towards a more direct and independent approach towards patient care, right? So I think that is a difference between the internship of Korea and our internship here in the Philippines.
Actually, that's true. Okay. Anyway, what cultural differences between Korea and the Philippines have you observed during the internship? How do these differences manifest in the clinical environment? More on their care.
Cultural differences, because I haven't observed the clinical practice
Okay.
in Korea, but I guess here in the Philippines, one cultural difference is we really have to be independent from our clinical supervisors, and
Actually.
we don't need to wait up until our clinical supervisors tell us what to do,
Yes.
right? And you know, we have to have more a higher self initiative in doing things, in treating patients, in volunteering to treat a patient, in volunteering to document, to assess a patient. I think that is the difference, because in my interview and feedback with the different cultural supervisors is yun nga, that's a big cultural difference. Now we can have that
Yes.
confidence in just really having high initiatives.
Okay. So we're moving on to internship development process. Could you give specific examples of how the clinical skills of Korean PT have improved since the beginning of the internship?
I think they have improved greatly on patient rapport.
Oh, that's very interesting.
At least the patient rapport through the body.
Oh.
And also, I guess the skills that they also apply already for the clinics, the different clinics.
At what stage is the first cohort of internships currently progressing, and what educational content is prepared for the remaining 3 months?
Well, right now we're continuing with the clinical internship, in which they are rotated into different specialized centers. We are one of 3 universities that has a clinical rotation to the only cardiac rehabilitation in the Philippines. So all of our interns will go through that. We are also the only university in the Philippines in which all of our interns have sports rotation and sports training. And I think our strength is also our community-based rehab, in which our Korean interns are faced with, or are exposed to rather, to different settings of community level rehabilitation. We have a community level rehabilitation that is done in a public school, and a community level rehabilitation that is done to the urban poor community. So those are the current those are the things that are still lined up, that our Korean students can still experience, plus the lectures on chemistry and physics.
Okay. So for the remaining 3 months, what are what will they be doing?
Really just continue on their clinical rotation. Hopefully by the next 3 months we could also guide them into their employment, because we, FEU-NRMF, has various partners that we can lead them to, and at the same time maybe assist them also in the different processes of applying credentialing abroad.
Okay. So here, the question is what special support does the school provide for participants aiming to obtain licenses in the US, Australia, Canada, and other English-speaking countries?
Okay. The assistance that we could do is the document preparation of their requirements for the credentialing, both for those different countries, and try our best to really connect them to a good network, or to refer them, hopefully, to a trustworthy network that will take care of their employment. Those are the things in the pipeline that we are trying to do. But mostly it's really taking care of their documents and really just advising them on the process.
So this internship participants are aiming for employment in the US, Australia, and Canada. What plans do you have to help them achieve their goals?
Well, us as an educational institution cannot directly
Right,
be
exactly.
involved in their employment.
Yeah.
But we can only advise them on the process. But again, we will not make false promises of employment that they can have.
Okay.
Okay, at the very best, we can guide them to how the process can be, what documents are needed But in terms of directly showing them to an employer, I mean, we are not allowed to do that because an educational institution cannot stand as an employment agency as well. Okay, we can direct them to our employment partners, all right, but that is the best that we could do.
Okay, thank you. Employment partners. Okay, so advice for future participants and students. What advice would you give to future Korean PT about what they should prepare or reinforce before departure for the internship? So this is going to be the second cohort.
All right. So first is please do review your English, both writing and speaking. Be more confident in what you will learn and what you can apply. Maybe be also prepared for the cultural differences that you are to face, especially cultural differences in terms of transportation, food, because very, very different from Korea. Also, the cultural differences of socialization. All right. That is, that really is a big contrast from Korean and Filipino
Yes.
socialization norms.
Okay, so this one. What special advice and welcome message would you like to give to the students who will be newly enrolled in physical therapy department?
Okay, so my advice is I know that you're already aptly prepared. Okay, my advice is to really prepare yourself into really learning a lot of things, not just academically and clinically, but also culturally. As this will enrich your character, this will enrich your personality. Being involved in a different country and caring for locals in a different country as well, it will increase your compassion, it will increase your patience, your endurance, and most especially it will increase your knowledge on the different practices of different countries. We are very excited to have you here because we have prepared a good program for you. Again, as I've told you, only us in FEU-NRMF can provide you with the specialized care centers of cardiac rehab and sports rehabilitation and community-based rehabilitation. And yeah, that's it. And we welcome you to the next cohort. Thank you.
Okay, so if you were to explain the unique strength and educational environment of FEU-NRMF to high school students in Korea, what aspects would you
To
want
high school students. Okay,
emphasize?
so
Yes.
we are a very student-directed type of learning in which we foster independent and creative thinking. At the same time, we are very evidence-based. We have a vast online resource that the students can that is a privilege to our students. On top of that, we have profession-specific online resources that is not available in other universities as well. Their experience here really is enhanced because the faculty that teach are faculties that are experts in their own fields. That can really teach them even what is not normally being taught in undergraduate courses in other schools. And most especially our internship program that is highly specialized, and that I am proud to say that we cover all aspects of different specializations of physical therapy. We have pediatrics, geriatrics, cardio, pulmo, kidney specialization, sports specialization, and also we are the only partners, the only Philippine partner of Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So far, the best university PT, the best PT college in whole of Asia. We're also partnered with. We're international, also partnered with Germany and Austria, in which we just had a good news just the past few days that they are open for short-term trainings for FEU-NRMF interns for both Austria and
I heard that some students plan to advance to medical school after graduating from the physical therapy department. What are the advantages of choosing this path?
Well, physical therapy courses is very much aligned to the medicine practice because we follow an evaluation to treatment protocol already. All right, we deal with all medical and surgical cases that requires rehabilitation, and also some of the first year subjects, all right, that is taken by medicine is actually already being taught in PT. Like for example, anatomy 1 and anatomy 2 is the same for medicine.
Yeah.
Same with physiology. So same with pharmacology and pathology.
Do you have any words of encouragement for the first cohort of Korean physical therapists? No.
Thank you very much for enrolling on the first cohort, for trusting FEU-NRMF for your training. I do hope that the next 3 months would really be enjoyable for you, and that you would still really learn a lot, and that because of this partnership and because of your training would really help boost your career in different countries as well. So thank you for your perseverance.
Okay. And what welcome message and expectations would you like to share to the second cohort of internship this June?
Okay, so I am expecting everyone to be eager learners, alright, to be compassionate and patient, okay, in really learning the culture, learning the language, not just learning the different clinical techniques, but rather really embracing and loving the Filipino culture, as it will really add to your character, personality, and even professionality. Okay? So again, thank you and welcome.